So I'm just restarting the session, uh, and now we'll see examples of while loop with break and continue, like how we can use break and continue in a while loop. So let me first set a value. Let's say set candy 1. When I'm setting candy, it's just like I'm defining a value. I can set it any number, whichever is required according to my code. Right now, because we are going incrementally, that's why I'm starting it with 1. It's just, it's not necessary like you start any number always with 1 or something. It depends upon your condition. So while candy lesser than 5, okay. And now here I'll give second condition in which I'll be adding a break statement. Okay, which is like candy greater than 3. Okay, and I'll add a break statement here. So as soon as the candy value reaches 3 or more than 3, not 3, reaches more than 3, our loop will break. Okay, I'll write increment candy so that it will keep on incrementing. So loop ran here. It's lesser than 5. So this while had to run up to 5 times, but it didn't because inside we had the condition when it becomes candy becomes greater than 3, it has to come out of the entire loop by adding break comment here. Sorry, command here. So now this says the available candy is 1, available candy is 2, available is 3. Now when it becomes more than 3, then with the help of the break, we are able to terminate this loop. Anyway, this loop was in control. I mean, it was a terminating loop itself. But still, sometimes there can be loops which we are not controlling, or the condition is not the one which is terminating the loop. In that scenarios, when it reaches a particular value, we can add break in that loop. Now, let's see some example of continue as well. This we have seen for break. Then we'll see for continue. So continue skips the rest of iterations and starts re-evaluating. Okay, let me give you an idea. I'll just clear this once so that we can do a fresh start. Now this time I have taken a random number p, condition p lesser than 20. Okay, now if you see here, I'm adding this increment p at this start of the loop, not in the end of the loop. We'll be seeing the purpose of that as well. What I actually meant by that. And here in this condition, when we are saying that when p's value becomes equal to 15, then we have to continue. Okay. At the same time, I'm adding one more. Okay, let's just add this. Right now, let's see only this condition so that you'll understand what exactly continue does. Then we'll mix it with break. Okay, my bad. By mistake, I have given this value as capital P, which I have not defined. Now I'll have to write entire code again, which honestly I do not want to do. But yeah, no other option. So I'm using up arrow key because right now I'm feeling really lazy and I don't want to rewrite these commands. So I'm just pressing the up arrow and down arrow keys. These up arrow keys and like they come really handy. Okay, now I will add just this command and modify it with the correct variable name. Now, oh, okay, did I increment it before? Yes, I did. So while we ran this loop, the loop already started. I set the value of p as 10. Then we gave this loop, okay, while loop. So the loop already started running once and the value of p already incremented once. So it became 11. Now, because Tickle is an interpreter and not a compiler, so when I'm saying an interpreter, it directly starts reading the code one by one, not compile it first in some kind of, it doesn't checks for syntax or anything in the one go. Usually, when you write other languages like C and all, so what your compiler does, it checks the entire code for the syntax first and then it starts running. But with Tickle, it's not like that. It's direct starts interpreting it. So when you say, like when I wrote this loop and I hit enter, my Tickle interpreter started reading it, and with increment p, the value of 10 became the 11. Okay. Then it went into this loop, but of course, it couldn't perform this loop because my value of p is not equal to 15. So ideally, it didn't go inside this loop because the condition was not met, and it jumped onto the next command, this puts value of p $p, where it found a error where it says that p variable is not readable, and it gave you that error. Now, when I wrote the code again, value of p is already 11. Okay, so increment p made it 12. That's why you are seeing the value of p is 12 and not from 11, because already the value of p has been incremented once. Now it again checked this condition. Condition was not met. It jumped to the command puts and started putting the value 12, 13, 14. The moment it read 15 and it saw continue, it didn't perform the further code. It directly jumped onto the while again from the starting and it started re-evaluating it. And once I wrote increment p, which is 16, which became 16, the condition was again not meeting, and then it jumped to the puts command. Now, what if I write this increment p after like this loop? What will happen in that scenario? So let's try that as well. Okay, let me quickly write a code, or I'll just explain it. Writing will take a lot of time and my video will stretch too long and it will be boring for you people. So if I write increment p after this loop, after this loop, then once the value becomes once the value equals 15, my while command will go in an infinite loop because increment p will be after this loop, and continue will skip reading whatever is written after continue. Instead, it will send you back to the first, no, to the first line of the code. Now the value is equal to 15. It will again match here. Continue will run. It will send you on the first line again. Then the value still remains 15. It will enter the loop again. With continue, we'll be jumping onto the first line again. And still the value is 15. And so on, this loop will continue and continue and continue forever. So in these kind of scenarios where we are using continue without break, we have to make sure that whatever condition that we are passing in this continue loop, it also has to be terminating condition. Like there should be a code after which can terminate your loop. And you have to make sure that you are not creating an infinite loop again. So with while, this is the major issue that sometimes you may actually run into an infinite loop, leading to a huge memory usage and killing your session and all the runs. In very rare cases, this while loop can be, non-terminating, but they are very rare case in the state machines or something. Okay, and yeah, so this is about while with continue. We have seen while with break. Now we'll see while with continue and break both. Yeah, so I'm facing some throat issues today. Okay, so let us see this next example where I'm setting the value of p as 10. Then while again $p lesser than 20. So my condition is, in order to go this p into while loop, sorry, in order to go this code into this while loop, p has to be less than 20. Now this time I'm writing increment p here again. You know the reason. Same condition we'll use. Well, you can use break without, or break or continue anything without the curly braces as well. You do not have to use curly braces all the time, and still it will work. Like it will still work. See, right, this time I'm writing everything correct, okay? Okay. Now, I used this, like whenever the value becomes 15, you have to continue. That means to say, once I reach the value 15, this puts and break tool will skip, reading these two commands and will jump at the starting of the command, like the loop once again. With increment p, the value becomes 16. Now, this loop is avoided and tool starts checking for this condition, like tickle starts checking for this condition. Once this condition is met, my value of p becomes more than 18, that is 19. Tools to starts like stops running it and comes out of the loop. The loop is not further read, okay, or continued. I hope this makes me like this. With these examples, I'm able to clear why we are using while, continue, and break, and when we are using them. Okay, today I'll just show you one more simple, tickle script, and how we can source this tickle script in the command window, and how can we use, like if you want to debug something, then there's a return statement which brings or that stops this script in the middle. Kind of it helps, in debugging some problems and issues. The keyword is return. Okay. So this is a simple tickle script that I've wrote. Set A as 5, B as 10. Sum1 is the addition of A and B. Then C and D, the values of C and D are 7 and 8 respectively. Sum2 is the addition of C and D. And then we are putting all these values on the screen. Okay. So if I simply source this tickle, mm, it will just run, and will show us this. Why is it not showing me the third value? Did I just save it or not after adding return? Oh, after removing return. Yeah. So now it is showing all the three values, sum1, sum2, and sum. Now what if I want to, like I want to stop the script somewhere here only, but there's no loop in my script. So I can simply add a return command